Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf. Today we have another Bag It or Bin It, which is a Patreon sponsored Bag It or Bin It from my patron Chuck. And he asked me to review the Discraft Heat. So I picked up a normal ESP Heat, but Latitude discs were like on super sale or something. So I was actually able to find this Crystal Sparkle Heat as well to review it against. And I'm pretty excited because this disc is a flippy fairway, 9.6 -3.1. A lot of Discraft pros will throw this for their roller disc. I don't know if we'll have a good roller hole to check it out on, and I don't have a good roller anyways, and it's windy. But something flippy like this might replace this slot in my bag, which right now I bag the river. Different numbers, 7.7, -1.1, but since this is a 7-speed and only quote unquote -1.1, I'd say probably closer to -2.1. Since this is a 9-speed but -3.1, they might fly similarly. Now with flippy discs, they have what's, I don't know if this is legit, but I call it the flip point, where there's a point of kind of not no return, but there's a point that if you hyzer flip it, it'll hyzer flip really well to flat. Some discs will start to turn a lot, and there's a point where it gets on turn that it's just never coming back. So there's a couple points in there. One is the point that you put it on little enough hyzer or enough power that it will flip up to flat. The second is after flipping to flat that it will turn, and the third is after it turns to the burn point. So I want to see how those differ between these discs. So we're here at what could be one of my home courses if I still lived in Orlando. We're at UCF right now, University of Central Florida, and they have an 18-hole disc golf course. We're going to play 5 holes with just these 3 discs, and if I can't beat par with any of them, including the river, I'm going to give it to Chuck. But first, before we get on to the first hole, let's just talk about the feel of these discs. They do definitely feel like 9-speed rims, which I actually, as I've thrown more discs, I found that there are some discs and slots in my bag that I prefer to 7-speed, some that I prefer to 9-speed, and I'm not sure where I fall in line with my flippy fairway yet. I really like the way this fits in my hand. It's one of the better feeling Discraft discs that I felt. It does still have some tooling on it, like anything under the rim, but as long as it's not a Paul McBeth edition disc, it's normally not the end of the world. This Crystal Sparkle is my first time ever feeling it, and this plastic feels really good. It's like a little bit gummier and tackier than their Z plastic, but it's also a little stiffer than just their normal crystal plastic, I believe. The ESP Heat is just like any other ESP disc. This one feels like it's probably gonna be a little bit flippier than Crystal Sparkle, but normally that's just how these type of plastics work against a premium plastic, and then the river is just stupid domey. These ones don't actually have as much dome as you would think from a -3.1 disc that has 6 glide. To do 5 holes with these guys, we're gonna tee off behind this tee pad, which I ranged to 280 feet to the basket, straight out there in the middle of the field. A bunch of routes that we can take, but on this one, I wanna see if, especially with this tailwind, if I throw them on some hyzer, how much they'll flip and come back, because there is a lake that I don't wanna go into. We're gonna start with the river, since that's what I bag. 280 feet should be a nice, easy, like little 2-step shot. Oh, the wind is taking that one. So it didn't quite flip up a ton. I think that's just on the edge of circle on the outside. But the thing I love about that is, like, I did not throw that hard, and that just kind of went for days. Oh, that's definitely flippier, I think. It's a little shorter as well, a little more hyzer. Actually, it might not be shorter. That might be really good. But that one looked like it wanted to flip up, and I put that on even a little bit more hyzer. Okay, that one's definitely more stable than the ESP. That's gonna be really short. Maybe it's gonna be parked. Maybe I'm throwing a little further. I don't really know. And just off the jump, I think that Crystal Sparkle might be pretty similar to my river. And I've noticed, I don't really know, because I think one of the things that I want that river for and disc in that slot is for like woods golf, where it like flips up to flat, glides through the woods. But a lot of that for me is how I feel confidently holding the disc and like I can commit to the shot. And for some reason, right now, I seem to think, I feel like I can commit a little bit more with the rim of a 9-speed in my hand than a 7-speed in that flippy spot. I don't know why, because I love 7.502 discs. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Everything is almost perfect. Wow, these were pretty good shots. Practice your putting, folks. I like this disc. This might be my first like glowing endorsement of a Discraft disc, but this is only after 1 hole. But I tend to have a good idea of how I like this after 1 hole, so. All right, I thought that there were long pads as well. There for sure are only short pads, because right here, right in front of me is where Udis says the long pad is. 371 feet away from the basket, right over there, there's a lake long, which I'm not super worried about. What I am worried about is we have a head right to left cross. And we're gonna be throwing flippy discs. I think I really like having like this really premium plastic, like the Crystal Sparkle. I'm not the biggest fan of ledgestone runs because they're so specific, and like you need to buy a billion of them if you like them as your disc. But seeing as how many of these were on Infinite and how on sale they were, I don't think I'll have a problem with that if I do like this Heat a lot. This is definitely the flippiest, just like it flipped so much faster than both of these other discs. But we're gonna go, this is gonna be tough. Hyzer flip to turn. Hopefully it doesn't burn into the ground. This is a really touchy shot because you gotta give it enough height on hyzer, but you don't want it to take it. This is gonna be interesting. river first. It's my first time trying to actually rip on something, trying to use my new form. Could you tell it was the first time? ESP heat. Yes. Now come back at some point. Okay. Oh, sit. All right, I'm like trying to park one's basket. That was a little short. I think it's just because it didn't have the stability to keep flying and fighting back. It was pretty much the line I wanted to put it on, but that one seemed to get to a point where it just never really wanted to come back much. Oh, baby, that is a beautiful flight. Holy cow. I think that's kind of, so one of the other reasons why I've been wanting to replace my river is because of how domey it is. I kind of like some domey discs, but in general, I've always preferred flat discs, or like, I've heard some people call them pop top. I kind of think of them as like kind of like a Gracer Arrive, where they have like a very, very small dome, but are mostly flat and are overall stiff. And that's kind of exactly where that Crystal Sparkle heat lies. Also, I like that the plastic, you can't really feel the tooling on it as much as compared to like an ESP or a Z. I think that's, oh, wow, that was perfect. I got 3 more holes to figure out if I'm in love with that disc or not, because so far, I kind of am. So here we got a big wind pushing us this way, so I think we're gonna try to forehand the river. Even if I throw it on some hyzer, it should ride the hyzer all the way to the basket. Yep, riding the hyzer, riding against the wind, sitting down 5 feet from the basket. I'm honestly kind of thinking this is putter range, especially with this being open like this. Oh, way too much wind, dude. Oh, that's, oh gosh, Anthony. All right, this disc is actually still out and like not a lot closer. That's what happens when you get lazy with the wind read. Low, I knew that on my hand. Great line, great line. I always feel like the wind's gonna mess up my timing more than it actually does. All right, big crosswind. I thought I would keep it up more, but I also just never got it up. All right, so the main tee is right up here, 216 feet. The long tee that UDisc says is not really a good hole in my opinion, at least for this disc, so. Here are 297 from right here, so probably about 280 from where we'll be teeing off. Again, we're just gonna try to see if we throw something on hyzer flip 2-turn and try to keep it on turn, because we wanted those last ones to flex out at the end. These ones I kind of want to throw along that wood side and see if they'll just hold the turn and how long to hold without fading out. But it's only 290 feet, so I'm probably gonna have to throw them flat and let them do the work. Slightly hyzered. Should have thrown it flat, should have trusted it. That disc is not as, I mean, it probably is closer to that negative 1.51, negative 1.1. If you throw it, and I think that's because it is a 7-speed. So I was throwing that probably closer to what traditional 7-speed you'd want to throw it at. But if you're throwing at like a 9-speed or a 10-speed or 11-speed and throwing it really hard, it is gonna turn and burn on you, which makes sense. So this one I probably am gonna try to release a little bit flatter than that. Did not, release it on the same hyzer. Same straight, oh, better kick until a worse kick. I think the heat's gonna be the only one that's truly like that. And a lot of the reason that they're not turning over as much is our wind is still pushing this way. We're still kind of moving in that direction, pushing against the flight plate, keeping the discs to the left. Oh my gosh, those are just different discs. Well, I somehow stuck right in there, so looks like we got overhand out. Sit down. Oh wow, that's terrible. Nice little river shot. Step out here. Oh, all right, this is not good. Right here. We do have a little step out though for a patent pending. Get it. Oh, way less wind, no issue. Oh. I do think that the best show would have been that 370-foot hole, because I think that the river would have been a little more glidey, so it would have held to the right more. And this, I think this Crystal Sparkle plastic just has a lot more stability in it than like the heat. Like I would say that this is probably more of a 9.5 negative 2.2 instead of a 9.6 negative 3.1. Because I would have expected with how I threw it on that 370-foot hole that it would have carried all the way there, but it didn't. Those are just preliminary numbers. This one I'd say is true to its numbers, 9.6 negative 3.1 glidey. I mean, I gotta put this thing in the air, so we'll see if these next 2 holes are good enough. All right, here we're at hole 4. This is definitely the first time I'm at hole 4, and I definitely didn't do something very dumb that made me have to get a disc out of the water. Where'd it go? Oh, do you see that? Sorry. That was a pretty dumb line to try to take, but I was like, oh, this would be a good flippy comparison. It wasn't. It was really stupid. So no matter what now, since this would have bogeyed at best, unless I threw it in from like 200 feet, the ESP heat is 100% like gone. Like, we're still gonna test with it, but Chuck, you're getting that ESP heat no matter what. I wanna see how these hold the forehand, which is equally as dangerous as we're going over the water. I think if we try to just see how they take a soft S-turn from a standstill, that'd be really nice, because one of the things that I like my river for, and I like this flippy fairway spot for, is standstill forehands in the woods. Like when I can't get a lot of movement. Since it is flippy, if I throw it flat, I'm not gonna be able to throw it as hard as I could throw it, and so it's probably still gonna get that nice S-curve as long as I have the nose angle and the height correct. Alrighty, river. Oh man, that thing turned a lot. I might need to aim it slightly more right, but crystal sparkle. Oh, the forehand grip on this is interesting. It feels like it's slightly shallower than the river, but I think that's just because it's not as domey. It doesn't feel bad at all. It does feel a little rounded at the bottom edge here, which makes it feel really nice on the back end. It's like at the edge of what I would feel comfortable throwing a shallower disc at. It's over. What did I say about getting like the height right and stuff like that? Man, that thing is, I put that on way more hyzer and that thing is flipped into the ground. That crystal sparkle one is out of bounds. That is not it. Whoa, 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 whoa. That means I gotta get the last hole with it to keep it. Oh man. Oh, and it's basically a re-tee. This quickly evolved from, this is a nice chill bag it or bin it to, we are messing everything up consistently and badly. Whoop, at least I get a second shot at this. Better. Skip up there for the 3 or 4. Okay, that should be good. I think I heard it tink the pole, but that should be a bogey, which I think brings it back to even, so. Eesh. All right, are these putts or are they up shots? Oh, I did it again. No, I did it again. Why do I keep leaving it so high? Eesh. We need birdies. We need birdies. All right, so we have 270-ish feet into that basket there. Probably, honestly, another forehand based on the way the fairway is shaped to throw a slight hyzer forehand, let it flip up, come back, pretty simple. But the heat, I'm gonna try to put down a backhand roller because it's very flippy. I don't even think I need a ton of power to put on that. River is up first. Nice little easy forehand here. Flip more. Did not flip more. Oh yeah, go in the basket. Oh, that might have done it. Probably short, probably would have hit that tree, but that was tracking. I might be able to keep that disc because I kind of want to replace my river with it right now, honestly. And then this heat, let's see. I'm not good at rollers, but I think we can get it down correctly. It should be good. Get there and hit something. Oh, let's go. Let's go. That was gonna go a mile. That's a really good roller disc. Chuck, if you throw rollers, that thing was cutting. I'm really glad I did that because I was not really getting along with that ESP heat well. And I haven't found a roller disc that I really, really like. Ooh, I might grab one and I might bag both of those, at least to try. Because that crystal sparkle heat, I really like the way that it flies. I feel a lot of confidence with the 9-speed in my hand. So I think hitting gaps in the woods, I'll feel a little confident with it. And I like how it flips. Like, it's more of that flippy fairway. Like the river's kind of, it's more touchy than I would have wanted. It like doesn't flip when I want to 100% of the time. It's kind of weird. Wow, that ESP heat is parked. Also, look how pretty this is framed up here. It's gonna look so good when I make this putt. Just gonna clean these up, build the suspense a little bit. What a good birdie. Sorry to see this one go, but it's definitely even par because I definitely bogeyed with it. No! That's like a no-brainer make. I thought about it, I just thought about it so much. Well. Dang, I like this. This is a bag disc for me. I should probably even finish it out. Well, it doesn't matter at this point because it's freaking stupid. I freaking hard it like a ding dong on a good shot. Just a nice little irony that I found the disc that I think I'm finally comfortable replacing my river with, at least trying out in that slot in my bag. And there's definitely more discs that I want to try out to see if they would be good replacements, but I finally found one. This disc would have gone straight into my bag. This like acts exactly like I want my flippier fairway driver to act, and it feels really good in my hand. These two are going out to Chuck. I'm gonna have to buy some other ones. Maybe not though, because there's plenty of discs that I have in the back of my van that I haven't even tested out yet. That could fit these slots. Not gonna worry about that for now, but I really like this disc So everyone who says I'm a Discraft hater, I'm not. I just need to find the right disc for them, and this was one of them. So if you want to check out the last Discraft bag of Bennett, it was all about whether Paul Macbeth is going to be throwing the Undertaker or Athena next year. Check that out right over here. Otherwise, please subscribe, like the video, join my Patreon if you want to support me, and at the third tier, you can request one of these bag of Bennetts, and I'll be able to do that for you. But so disappointed in that last putt, and then I freaking missed it. Oh. Okay, love you, bye.